You guys, welcome back to KLs. This is now my Kamaru Usman versus Khamzat Chimaev fight prediction now for you guys. And yes, this goes down this Saturday at UFC 294, and I cannot wait for this fight. To be fair, I'm more excited for this one than I was for Khamzat Chimaev versus Paulo Costa. Obviously, I still was looking forward to it. It's unfortunate that Costa had to pull out due to a shoulder injury. But still, I feel like we got a better fight here, though, with Kamaru Usman and Chimaev. Big respect to Kamaru Usman for taking this fight. I'm not really a fan of Usman at all, but big respect to him for taking the fight, though, on like 10 days notice. And Khamzat Chimaev as well, like, he's taken this Usman fight as well on 11 days notice when he was preparing for Costa. So respect to him as well. This one's an interesting one in my opinion. It's a really interesting fight. Usman's always in shape, so I believe he'll be ready to go. He's been training he has still been training obviously. So I still think he fairly is in fight shape, to be fair. But it's going to be difficult now. He's preparing for a really good wrestler in Khamzat Chimaev. But we also do know how great Usman's wrestling is as well, how great his takedown defense is. Obviously, Covington, I do believe broke that takedown defense record of Usman. Then obviously Leon Edwards went on and did it. But yeah, look, Usman's wrestling's still really good. His takedown defense is still amazing. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens here, to be fair. Khamzat Chimaev is going to be looking to take it to the ground right away, in my opinion. I feel like, he definitely believes that his wrestling's more superior over Usman's. I feel like Usman is probably declining a little bit, though. It'll be really interesting to see what this fight's like when it's on the feet, to be fair. When it's on the feet, it's going to be really interesting to see. I feel like Usman's going to be wanting to fight Khamzat Chimaev on the feet, to be fair. I feel like that's where Usman's going to want it to be. Usman's obviously a real good explosive puncher, to be fair. 100% he does hit really hard. Khamzat's got a good chin, though. Like, he took a load of great shots from Burns when they had a good dust up on the feet. They kind of went life and death, which was a really good, entertaining fight. Probably one of the fights of the year for 2022. But this one is a really interesting one, to be fair. Usman, 11 days notice. Obviously, he's had his injuries as well. He's had surgeries. It's going to be interesting, to be fair. Obviously, he's had his hand injury, like the hand injuries as well. Like, I feel like, has that affected Usman on the feet a bit? Obviously, Covington had moments against Usman on the feet. Leon, obviously, as well. But obviously, Leon's known for being a kickboxer, of course, though. But look, I feel like, yeah, obviously, as I said, Usman's going to want this fight to be up on the feet, mostly, in my opinion. Khamzat's going to want it to be on the ground. But Khamzat, in my opinion, will definitely be able to compete with Usman when it is on the feet. And I feel like when it's on the ground, it's going to be fairly competitive as well. Which makes it really interesting. I feel like we're in for a great fight. We're going to see some good moments on the ground with the grappling and the wrestling. Also on the feet, though, like, both guys can strike, so it's going to be interesting as well. I feel like it's a difficult one to predict, in my opinion. We don't know how, Usman, in my opinion, is definitely declining. We don't know how rapidly it is. He is declining, though. Khamzat's obviously improving every single fight, but he needs to be more active. But still, it's an interesting one. It's a really interesting one. I feel like Usman's going to want to try and get this fight done early, in my opinion. I feel like Usman's going to want to get Khamzat Chimaev out of there fairly early. I feel like for Chimaev, it won't really... I feel like he's fine to take it the distance. Like, remember, it is 3 rounds as well. It is only 3 rounds, this fight, which makes it even more interesting, which could favour Usman a little bit more now, to be fair. But who do I think will win this fight? I feel like overall... obviously, you need to take into account, obviously, Usman stepping in on late notice. So, it's probably not going to be as competitive as it was if they had the full camps. I feel like Khamzat Chimaev will win this fight. I feel like he will. I doubt he'll be able to beat Usman on the ground, though. I doubt he'll be able to submit him or anything like that, or get him out of there with ground and pound or anything. They're both, and I can't really see Usman getting. I can't really see Usman submitting Khamzat Chimaev either. I do see this fight going the distance, to be fair, and I do feel like, could they go life and death? Possibly. I reckon it will be a good life and death fight where, I feel like we're going to be going to a close decision here, which I feel like Khamzat Chimaev will be able to edge. I feel like he's going to be able to get the better of the wrestling with Usman in the first round. To be fair, I feel like Usman's going to take a while to warm up into the fight, in my opinion. I feel like second round, well, he'll take the first round to warm up into it. Second round, Usman will be able to get the better of Chimaev, in my opinion. I feel like Usman will be able to want to keep it on the feet more, and I feel like he'll be able to outstrike Chimaev a little bit on the feet in that second round. Then in round 3, it goes all down to it. They're both going to want to try and get it to the ground, but they'll end up having to strike, and I see Khamzat Chimaev being able to. I just see his chin being able to hold up more than Usman's, and I feel like Chimaev might actually drop Usman in round 3, which will end up winning him the fight, in my opinion. But it's a really difficult one to call, in my opinion. But I'm going with Chimaev on a unanimous decision. I do see Chimaev being able to drop Usman. I don't see Usman dropping Chimaev. He could, though. He could. If Usman wins, I feel like it will be in the first round or something later on in the first round. He'll knock Chimaev out, but I don't see that being the case, though. I see Chimaev's chin being able to hold up. Usman will be hitting with some good shots in that second round and could trouble Chimaev, but then I see Chimaev being able to get back into the fight on the feet. And I see Chimaev being able to win this fight, in my opinion. But it's a tight one. I still feel like it could go either way, especially as it's a 3-rounder as well. But I'm going with Khamzat Chimaev to win this fight on decision. But, I still feel like you can't fully count out Usman, though. But I feel like that chin is probably declining of Usman now, and Khamzat's just getting better. Khamzat's getting stronger as well. But Usman's a strong guy as well. It's a difficult one to call. It's a kind of a difficult one to break down as well, because I see, like, in both these guys, when it comes to the wrestling department, they're both kind of unbeatable, aren't they? So I feel like it is going to come down to them on the feet who will get the better of the striking, and I feel like Khamzat Chimaev actually will. I feel like with Usman, when it comes to striking, I feel like he's only like an explosive puncher. Like, he's not someone who can really outbox you and put like great combos together. I feel like Khamzat Chimaev, I feel like he's better at putting combos together than Usman is, and will be more skilled on the feet, and he's more skilled on the feet than Usman is. I feel like Khamzat overall is a little bit more well-rounded than Usman. That's the thing. I mean, people would disagree, but Usman's he's only really got the power when it comes to being on the feet. And I see Khamzat Chimaev shin being able to hold up. So I see Chimaev being able to drop Usman and win and that will be the decider in that third round that wins Chimaev the fight. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be interesting. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, King. I'll speak to you in a bit. Thanks for watching. Peace out.